Nigel Farage, thanks for joining us again on Sky News today. Now, you have said that you would like to perform a reverse takeover of the Tories. What does that look like?
We're a new political party, we're a new political movement. You can see in the space of a few weeks the energy we've generated here in this room today, and it's happening all over the country. And you can believe what you want to believe with polling companies. Some put us on 21%, some put us on 13%. All I know is there's a real momentum behind us.
What does the reverse takeover look like?
Look, we are going in our own direction, all right? And if there are people in the Conservative Party that agree with our agenda, they're very welcome to come and join us. I think they're going to go through years of internal factionalism and fighting. And frankly, I keep being told they're a broad church, but they're a broad church with no religion, it seems to me.
Given what you have, what's been revealed around this campaign with accusations of racism, homophobia, which we can get into,
nice
some
and easy,
of there's the kind of pro-Kremlin remarks that the Tories have seized upon.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not having any of that. I've not made a single pro-Kremlin remark ever.
I'll come back. We can come back to that.
Not one.
We can come back to that. But do you think that the Tories would want to have you in their party now? Someone like Priti Patel has indicated that you wouldn't be welcome, having previously said she wants you there.
I want nothing to do with them. They're awful. They're ghastly.
So you rule out joining the Tory party after a general election?
They betrayed the 2019 election result. Brexit voters, they've no interest in the truth. For them, it's all a game.
So to be
about
clear,
being
Nigel,
in power.
you would rule
no
out.
Interest.
You would rule out.
Yes.
You would rule it out joining the Conservative Party.
Yeah. This is a new political movement.
That was a yes, wasn't it?
I want nothing to do with them.
OK, that was a yes, wasn't it?
If you don't work out, that's a yes. I don't know what else I'm going to say.
OK. All right, well, that's very clear. Who do you think should lead them?
Don't care.
You don't care?
No interest. No, there's no one. There's no one capable of leading a party as bitterly divided as this. I think it was the Brexit referendum that showed how deep the divide is. But I suspect this conversation will be irrelevant in 2 or 3 years' time. I think where we're going to be this time next week is we're going to have a massive national debate about changing the electoral system. I think that's going to be the really big takeout from this election. And in that scenario, the modern-day Conservative Party doesn't exist.
Nigel Farage, in the Channel 4 report, there was also your events coordinator, George Jones, who's worked with you for years. And he, when a police car passes displaying a pride flag, he says, "You see that effing degenerate flag? What are the old bull doing promoting that crap? They should be out catching the nonces, not promoting the effers."
Yeah, on the point the police should not show political symbols, agreed. On the point they should be doing stop and search, agreed. Of course I agree with that totally. On the language that was used, crass, drunken, vulgar, rude, wrong.
Were you angry with George when you heard he'd said that?
Well, I was very angry. Of course I was. Furious.
Why were you furious?
Because I didn't expect him to do it. And all right, I know it was the football was on, he was downwind of a few drinks. We can all say silly things when we're a bit half-cut. We all know that.
I don't know. I mean, do people say things like that when they're drunk?
Oh, people say all sorts of things when they're drunk.
Do they?
And often they don't even remember it the next day. But it was awful.
There's another person I wanted to talk to you about, and that was Andrew Tate. What do you think of him? You described him as an important voice for men a couple of months ago.
He really is massive. Huge, huge voice for men. Doesn't mean I agree with him in any way at all. Doesn't mean that I'm not horrified by seeing some of the charges and the extradition that's probably going to happen.
Do you think he's an important voice?
For young men, not for me. Why do you think he's got the massive following he's got? What do you think's going on here? I talk honestly. I don't support him in any way at all. But I can see for many young men, he is important.
You're aware he's been charged with sexual assault
I'm aware
and
of all
people
of
trafficking in
All
Romania.
Right, this is the nonsense of media.
Does that change your observation about him?
I'll tell you what, let's execute him. You happy? This is the nonsense that we've got. Nobody can talk objectively, sensibly about anything. Andrew Tate is very important to a huge number of young men. Now, that should worry you. That should worry you.
Does it worry you?
Of course it does.
Do you disavow him then, Nigel?
I've just done it twice.
Yes, so,
what do you want, three times?
So
three times and the cockerel crowed in the biblical way?
Now, the Prime Minister has described you as a Putin appeaser. What's your response to that?
What a load of cobblers. Just because I've got a better understanding of history and geography than they have.
You said that you thought Ukraine should enter peace talks. You're aware of President Zelensky's position on that?
Yes, if he wants to... If both sides... Look, wars end in two ways. You know, I'm an historian. Wars end in two ways. Either one side gets annihilated, literally annihilated, as happened, of course, to Germany in 1945, or there are negotiations.
Some people will think that you are being pro-Kremlin in that position.
No, I'm anti-war against the warmongering parties of Labour and Conservative over the last 25 years. There is a way through this. There is actually a way through this. Yes, of course, territories that have taken have to be given up.
So given back? So you'd like Russia to give the territories back to Ukraine?
The West has a big card to play, all right? A big card to play in terms of NATO.
You would like Russia to give taken territory back to Ukraine, just to be clear?
I think that's what has to happen.
OK.
That's what has to happen. But I think, look, negotiations may come to nothing. You know, Churchill famously said, George Orr is better than war, and he was involved in one war that ended in a negotiation and another that ended in annihilation. And I really do fear for what's going to happen to Ukraine if this goes on for another 3 or 4 years.